Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen. I am co-founder of Everyday Woman, and that's actually where this show is going to be played. If you're watching, if you're listening, it's going to be on iTunes on Everyday Woman TV. So make sure you check out the other hosts and the other shows, everydaywoman.tv.com. So as many of you know, one of my favorite things to do is interview women that are doing amazing things in the world, especially those that have a little soft spot for empowering and inspiring women. So I'm excited today to have Sabrina with us. Welcome, Sabrina.
Hello.
And tell everybody where you're at.
I am in South Florida. I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, originally from the suburbs of Chicago. So I'm enjoying the warm weather right now.
I know we're going to be hitting 80s this weekend, but then we'll be back in the 60s next week on Monday. It's constantly, I don't think Florida experiences as much as that crazy as we do here. Right?
Sometimes, but not really. It's just hot here.
Yeah, just hot and humid. That's something we love in Vegas that we don't have it. So let me share a little bit about Sabrina, and then we'll have her jump right in. I'm excited to be talking about her topic today, which is resilience is the key, which I 600% agree with. So it'll be fun to hear her perspective. She's going to be giving us some insight, and we'll go ahead and learn a little bit more about what she does as well. So Sabrina Victoria is the creator and CEO of Human Better 365. A human transformation company and the creator of Her Version podcast. She's a speaker, an entrepreneur, and author of Envision Your Best Life, 90-day planner, and creator of Catapult Your Life and 365 days. I love all of that. I love all of that because some of the stuff you focus on is so relevant to success, time management, and organization. Because without that, I don't know how I could function, Sabrina. I'm just letting you know, time management and organization has been my key to running 4 businesses. So thank you. So let's jump right in. Tell everybody a little bit about resilience and why it's the key. And what is it the key to?
Yeah. So I wanted to bring up this topic because it's really heavy on my heart this week. My son just turned 18 on Saturday. And for most people, it's kind of like, oh, yay, 18, good job, mom and child. However, my story is a little bit different. You know, I can't believe we're both still alive at this point in our lives. The journey that I've had to get from being pregnant to my son now turning 18 has been so filled with so many challenges, so many struggles, so much breakdown of just decisions that I made out of being completely naive to the world, to people, to what integrity means, what it means to plan out your finances. And because I was so naive in so many areas of my life, I had to struggle that much harder. And there was so many times in my life when I wanted to give up. There were so many times when I wanted to die. There were so many times when I wanted to just turn my wheel just enough to have my car fly off a bridge, because I just couldn't anymore all the time. And
so I'm going to say, first of all, Sabrina, I'm going to say I'm thankful you're still here. And I'm thankful you didn't drive the car off the bridge. I know so many people struggle with what, I don't know a lot about your story, but struggle with those ideas and thoughts in their head. So anybody that's listening or watching, please recognize and listen to what Sabrina's saying, because she didn't make that choice. And instead, she's still here. And please, if you're one of those people, reach out to somebody, tell someone, don't just say you're fine, and get some help. I just want to throw that in because I think a lot of people, I don't know statistics, but I'm sure many people go through that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're still here. So please keep going and letting us know.
Thank you. And a lot of that, the reason I wanted to bring up this topic is because the resilience that I needed to get from where I was to where I am now, I have used a lot of that strength in my journey as an entrepreneur. So my journey as an entrepreneur started many, 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 many years ago. I've been a 1099 my entire life. I've been self-employed my entire life. However, I always had somebody that I was answering to for the majority of my life. When I started with my own company about 10 years ago now, and I became my own boss, there's a lot of struggle in being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of lonely nights in being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of times when you want to give up when you're working for yourself. So, the resilience that I had, that I was able to, the challenges that I was able to get over while being a single mom with no child support and all of the turmoil that I went through during that, I was able to use those same exact strategies, that same exact mindset, that I had to use to power through every single day to just do the next right thing, just keep doing the next right thing. I've been able to now use that stuff in this world that I'm in now. And now I'm able to teach other people how to do it, and how to find that
let me
power,
ask you a quick question. When you say resilience is the key, with that whole story and your journey and really taking resilience, excuse me, and that really is what has helped you and got you through today. If you had to add another word, would it be resilience is the key to? What would you say?
Resilience is the key to success.
Success. Beautiful. I love that. I'm going to write that down because I really love that. I love that. We were working on topics before and we came up with resilience is the key, but I love the idea of possibly saying to success. So for you, the strategies, which I really would love it if you would jump in and give some of those logical strategies for those listening so they can walk away. If they're listening to your story, which I'm sure many people are, and going, I feel that way right now. I'm where Sabrina was. I'd like to get where Sabrina is. So what are some of the strategies that you yourself have used, and I'm sure work with your clients on as well, that those listening and watching can learn from?
100%. So as you mentioned in the beginning, time management and organization is everything to me. So the strategies that I had to learn, which you can find them anywhere, I just didn't know because I was young and just didn't have the experience. But when you're trying to get from one place to another place, you have to take time. So you have to be able to time block a certain amount of time to be able to focus on what the agenda is. So a huge agenda with me when I was a single mom, for instance, was finances, lack of finances. So at one point I had to sit down with myself. I had a time block time and I'd say, okay, for 1 hour, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to 100% focus only. So give all of my attention to how to create money.
I love that.
I'm going to create, because we can't make money, right? To make money is illegal. You can't make money. Right? Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
We have to get money. We have to collect money. So
yes,
you have to really figure out the words. What words are you using in your vocabulary that are keeping you from where you ultimately wanted to be? So I had to stop complaining about how I don't know how to make money. Nobody knows. Nobody can make money.
Completely agree. I love that.
Okay, how can I collect money? And then all of a sudden I could embrace or embody a squirrel. That's what I did. I embraced my body as a squirrel looking for nuts, and all they're doing is collecting nuts. So how can I go around the world with all of the people that I know in my network, and how can I collect money? How can I start collecting money? So
I love that.
Time blocking.
That's a mindset right there, Sabrina. Yeah. We have to stop and say, that is such a mindset piece. And the other thing that came to me is what great awareness.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as women, we don't give ourselves enough credit when we finally go, oh. And this whole portion of this interview for me was you going awareness.
Yeah.
Then not just awareness and realization, but then you sat down and started putting behind it action. This hour a day, and then changing your words from lack, which doesn't benefit anybody, to I'm going to sit down and I'm going to collect money. I love how you did that. Make money versus collect money.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
thank you. And the energy, the last key is energy. You have to be able to have the energy to do all of this. So you can have the time. We all have the time, right? It's just whether or not you decide to use it or not. We all have the ability to be able to put our attention on one thing. But if we are just so exhausted and we're so tired, we're not going to be able
Mhm.
to focus. So
Mm.
time, you have to have the time to create the time by time blocking. You have to pay attention. You have to focus on the one thing. You have one issue, and then you have to have the
Yes.
energy. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You have to make sure that you're getting sleep. You have to make sure that you're drinking the water that you know you're supposed to be drinking.
Yes.
So that when you're sitting down for that hour, you're aware and you're awake and you're capable of doing whatever you need to do mentally.
Yes. I keep seeing this. I'm
Yeah.
like that, Sabrina. My world, the only way it could work. One of the things I said to Sabrina when I read her bio as time management and organization, I said, there's no way I could function. No way, not even a 1% chance if I did not have time management and organization. And what I love about those two things, Sabrina, and tell me what your thoughts are, is, excuse me, it's a continuous learning process, as well as you have to continuously implement it. Because some people go, oh, I'm organized now. I'm like, oh no, I'm never completely organized.
Yeah.
There's always something to organize.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. 100%. It's a never ending, but that's part of the journey.
Yes, it is. I love all of the tips that you gave. What I would love for you to share next is I would love for you to share a little bit about, for me, everybody has a different explanation of that one time in their life, and there could be multiple. But for me, and I always think about the back of the closet in fetal position, crying when nobody was home.
Yeah.
That was like my bottom. I've
Yeah.
never been like that in my entire life. This was probably about 7 to 9 years ago, because it went on for about 2 years. And when you're in that position, you don't think or know or believe that there's a way out. And you don't even usually know how to find your way out. So could you please share a little bit, if you don't mind, of how you found your way out and how you got yourself, I like to say, stood up, because for me, I always imagine myself, which is fetal position on the ground, just done. Never did I ever have suicidal tendencies or anything like that. But my brain was going like, I'm just not leaving the closet ever. I'm just going to lay here.
Yeah.
So what can we share with everybody, that one step or that one thing? I know there's a lot to get them just to that next little, right next to that, I guess, right past that next hurdle is the word.
Yeah. So what the main thing that I forced myself to do was just to listen, very easy, listen to other people's empowering stories.
Beautiful.
So we are very, very, I don't want to say blessed, but blessed, I guess, to be in a era of video everywhere, audio everywhere. And if you just open your phone and just in Google, you don't have to go anywhere to do this, in Google, write inspiring speakers, inspiring females, inspiring speeches, motivational, whatever, and click on the first video, whatever the frick pops up, and feed off of those words. A lot of times we have to have somebody else tell us that it's possible in order for our brains to recognize that it is also possible for us. So sometimes we have to use other people.
Yes. I know myself as someone that believes in all types of therapy and has done from spiritual therapy to practical therapy. And then I also have a master's in therapy, so I understand how that works. I will tell you, that is the first thing that I suggest to people. I'm like, the right word is not fix. You cannot understand in your brain alone what you always need to feel better or to get better. But when you talk to someone that is trustworthy and is there specifically to help you, not judge you or give you advice and those people, Sabrina, where you're like venting and then they're giving you advice. You're like, I didn't ask for advice. I just needed someone to listen.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of relationship I have with my friends and my love. But I love that you said that, because I think so many people go through exactly similar. It's never exactly similar to the things that you've gone through in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say, I got my kid to 18 years old and I didn't think I would, what a great accomplishment. And I don't think people spend enough time recognizing the things they've accomplished in their life. So I'm so glad that you started today with, look what I did.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I did that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Teenage years are not easy. I have 3. I understand that.
Yeah.
My youngest just turned 18 in October, and we've had a mental health journey now for 4.5 years. And it's still not done. My kid is amazing and doing wonderful, but it's just part of the journey and part of what some people have to live with and go through. I would love it if you would share more about what you do, who you help, how people can reach out to you, what you have to offer, because I love that we talked so much about resilience. It's such a great topic.
Thank you. So to find me, I just push everyone to my main website, which is sabrinavictoria.com. It has all of my communities, companies, projects that I'm working on there, along with all of my social media. I am really big in the sobriety community. So I've been sober for over 15 years. So I work with a lot of individuals who are in sobriety. So not like getting sober, but people who are sober. So like a month in, 2 months, a year in, and they're looking around. They're like, okay, I got the sober thing down. Now what do I do? So I go in and help with that. And then my heart is with, individuals who have endured some sort of abuse, because that's my story. So I work heavily in the narcissistic abuse communities with females who have exited those sort of relationships. And again, are just looking for a leg up on like, what is the next step to just get all my stuff in order and get my life back together, because somebody else has been like ruling my world for years and years and years. So, but it's time management, organization is everything to me. That's the foundation of my coaching. I work heavy in minimalization, in procrastination, and really
nobody does that. What are you talking about?
Really whip people into shape when it comes to all that stuff. It's really fun and really eye-opening for a lot of people.
Well, the areas of expertise that you have are very well needed. And I know that so many people would appreciate that you've been there. So I love women that are coaching in areas of their own journey and of their own success, so they can share personal experiences with these people and recognize that, hey, I've been there, look where I'm at today. I think that it's great that you're specializing in those areas, and I think it's so needed in our world. And technology makes the world so small. I'm sure you work with women from all over the world. Do you also work with men, Sabrina, or just women?
Yes, I do. The only reason I tend to not highlight that is just so much of my community and what I deal with women, which just happens to be that way. But yeah, 100% both. 100%.
I have the same thing. I'll have 1 out of 6 clients that's a male, but they'll find me and reach out, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're aligned. It's fine. Yeah. But I'm the same way. I'm absolutely the same way. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for having me on your show. Last week. That's out and circulating now. I appreciate you letting me interview you. It's so much fun to always do that with people that have given me the opportunity to be interviewed about my life and my journey. So thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And everybody listening and watching, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Successful Woman's Mindset. Please take a moment to go on your smartphone, smart TV, Apple, Amazon, and download Everyday Woman TV. You can download it just like you do Hulu or HBO Max. It is free to watch. We have about 40 hosts now and 40 different shows and many episodes. So please take a moment to check it out. You can also watch it at everydaywomentv.com. So until next time, I am Galit, and I will see you soon. Bye.